Good morning, OroNaz. Travis here, and welcome to this new day, or whenever you are watching this. I just pray that the Lord's presence would be felt, and that maybe these next few moments you become more aware of the Lord's graciousness and loving kindness for you. He sees you, and He's with you. Saturday and Sunday, and then again Monday, the Lord was relentless in sharing with me a great reminder, that those 3 days, through multiple people, through parts of a book, a podcast that I was listening to, and a couple of reflections, all led me back to the same passage of Scripture, the same story. It's a pretty familiar story that I've heard throughout my Christian life as I've read the Bible, and maybe you have heard of it too. It's found in the 10th chapter of Luke. Jesus is preparing his disciples to be sent out, and leading up to this story, he is seen heard praying and thanking the Lord for hiding the things from the learned and wise and revealing them to children. After sharing that, he shares the famous story of the Good Samaritan, and then they move on down the road, and they are welcomed in, Jesus and his disciples, to the house of Martha, and she provides a place for them to catch their breath and to have a respite and to share in a meal. Martha's sister, Mary, is with her, and Mary and Martha, even though they are related by blood, they are seeing their roles very differently. Martha is feeling the weight of the aspect of hospitality, of preparing a meal and getting the house just right. And often Martha has received the bad rap, but her heart is pure, and she is wanting to provide and make way and room for Jesus and the disciples to have that rest. Mary, on the other hand, is captivated. She is at the feet of Jesus, the gospel writer Luke tells us. And Martha, she initiates a conversation with Jesus. Jesus doesn't initiate it. Coming to Jesus, Martha says, "Don't you see, Jesus, that my sister is not helping me? She has left all of this to me. In other words, do something about this, Jesus. This is not right." Jesus looks at Martha, and often we can miss this, but I do believe in the way that he repeats her name. He says, "Martha, Martha, you are worried." Some translations say distracted. Others say preoccupied with many things. Mary, however, has chosen the better portion, or the way, or part. She is focused in a particular way that is good, and it will not be taken from her. I want us to just think for a moment, because there's parts of our life that we could look to and see the Martha in us, and there's other times in our life that I believe we could see the Mary in us. But let's focus on the Martha that we see in ourselves. What have we been preoccupied with? What have we been distracted with? Not bad things even. Providing hospitality and making a meal and making those preparations, that was a good thing, and especially within that culture, a needed thing. However, there was a time and there was a place. There are so many things that are distracting me. There are so many things that I've become preoccupied with. My cup can only hold so much, and yet I fill it with the things, the distractions, the preoccupations that keep me from the worship, the listening, the hearing, the leaning in, being fully present with the Lord. Can you hear Jesus? Right now, where you're at, take just a moment. If you're doing something else while you're listening to this, would you just stop? Get into a comfortable position where you're not distracted. And I want to ask you, can you hear Jesus in your preoccupation and distractions, in the heaviness and the burden, whatever you may be carrying? Do you hear Jesus say your name? Listen for him. He doesn't say it with a judgmental tone. He says it like he said it to Martha. Martha, Martha. Do you hear that tone of Jesus? Travis, Travis. He loves you, and he has great things for you. And the greatest thing is his presence and his love. No matter what you're facing, no matter what waits you when this short reflection is over, Jesus is with you, and he is calling out to you with tenderness and care. He wants to be known with you right now in the midst of whatever you're facing. May you hear the Lord's pleasure of you this week. Grace and peace to you. Bye, friends.